The United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, commits to a world where every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth is safe, and every young person's potential is fulfilled.
All right, now I'd like to invite the Honorable Ms. Sisomboun Ounnavong, Director General, Department of International Cooperation, Ministry of Planning and Investment of the Lao People's Democratic Republic, to take the floor to share her perspectives on the power of SDG 5.6, on ensuring universal access to sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights for all, for promoting social, political, and policy change. For instance, we know that Laos will be including questions to measure SDG Indicator 5.6.1 on women's decision-making in the upcoming Lao Social Indicator Survey, LSIS, for the very first time, and that Laos also scored 96% on SDG Indicator 5.6.2, which measures laws and regulations that guarantee full and equal access to sexual and reproductive health care, information, and education. Can you share how Laos managed to achieve all of these and in such an enabling environment for women to realize their sexual and reproductive health and rights? Madam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator and all delegates. In La PDR, the Ministry of Planning and Investment is designated to coordinate all work around ICPD. At this time, it is my great pleasure and honor to share with you some of our work during this session. With regard to the law and regulations to enable women and men's full and equal access to social reproductive health, information and services, the government of La PDR has created conducive policy environment for the legal and regulatory framework for sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights, as well as women's reproductive decision-making. As per the 2021 State of the World Population Report, Laos scored 96 per 100 on laws and policies protecting sexual and reproductive health. Examples of the laws and policies in place: Laos Constitution's Law on Women and Development, Law on Preventing and Combat Violence Against Women and Children, Family Law, Policies and Strategy and Action Plans on Sexual and Reproductive Health, Youth Law, amongst others. Concerning the evidence-based monitoring on SDG 5.6.1 on women's decision-making on sexual reproductive health, the government of La PDR has conducted and provided a number of national surveys to provide the quality and disaggregated data. However, for the data to monitor SDG 5.6.1 on women's decision-making on SRHR, Laos does not have data on this critical indicator. With the technical guidance from UNFPA Country Office in La PDR and other UN agencies, the government, through the Lao Statistics Bureau, plans to include the questions on the SDG 5.6.1 on women's autonomy and empowerment in the upcoming Household Survey or the third Lao Social Indicator Survey, LSIS or MIX, this year. Data from the survey will provide baseline data for tracking SDG for all the country and will provide evidence of women's empowerment in decision-making regarding their sexual and reproductive health. We strongly hope that to get continued technical support from our development partners and countries to exchange knowledge and experience on the collection of the data to monitor the progress of the SDG 5.6.1 indicator. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very, very much for your comments. And as you can see, we're hearing from people all over the world as they're listening to you live. We thank you for your perspective. Our congratulations to you and the government and people of Laos for taking such proactive and promising steps towards upholding the rights and choices of women and girls in Laos and building the gender data infrastructure to enable informed policy choices. There are indeed lessons to be learned from the Lao experience.